I was at work that day, I remember getting a call from my wife saying that they were at the doctor and that there's something wrong with Ryan and they're not really sure what it is.
I have 3 children, and my youngest, who is 10, and my middle, who just turned 14, both have type 1 diabetes. The first child in our family that was diagnosed was Lauren. She was diagnosed after we were on a ski vacation. But when we returned home, we noticed that she was getting thinner and thinner, and that she just didn't look right. I whisked all 3 of my girls off to the doctor, and it was only minutes later that the doctor came in to tell us that Lauren indeed had type 1 diabetes.
By the time we got to the hospital, he was not doing well. It got insulin in him, he perked up, he was, talking, happy. And about 2 hours later, he dropped low down to 60, and that's kind of where the roller coaster began of highs and lows, and hasn't stopped since then.
When Kira, our second daughter, was diagnosed, she had been drinking a lot also, and I was sitting at the dinner table with her, just she and I, and she said, I'm worried that maybe I have diabetes. I said, well, let's check you. We have all the stuff right here. She checked herself and her glucose was 340. We just cried. We knew what it was.
They can teach you the physical parts. They can teach you how to put a shot into an orange. They can't teach you to put a shot into a 6-year-old. It doesn't work that way.
We worry about their future and the chronic disease, the disease that has its impact 10, 15, 20 years from now. That really is our biggest worry. It's a challenge day to day, but our biggest worry is what their future holds.
So the main goal of our research is really to find a replacement for the cells that actually produce insulin in the body, which are the pancreatic beta cells. So what we're trying to do is to actually use stem cell technology and to try to instruct stem cells in the culture dish to actually become insulin-producing beta cells that then could be transplanted into diabetic individuals and then allow diabetics to actually not inject insulin anymore and become insulin independent.
So I'm involved in clinical trials in type 1 diabetes. Most of the trials that we're involved in are similar to other studies that are going across the country right now in treating individuals who've recently developed type 1 diabetes to see if we can preserve any further loss of the cells that make insulin, which are the beta cells in their pancreas. We know that type 1 diabetes is secondary to an autoimmune destruction of the beta cells, and we're hoping by using different agents, which we know can alter the immune system, possibly suppress any further attack of their beta cells by the immune system. So the funding from the JDRF has been very important in supporting particularly basic research, which often is difficult to fund from other mechanisms. It's really from understanding the basic mechanisms of beta cell biology and insulin action that we're going to have an opportunity to develop cures for diabetes.
When I first was diagnosed with diabetes, they used to test my urine with a solution called Benedict's solution, which was a blue solution put in a test tube. We added 5 drops of urine to that, and it was boiled for about 5 minutes. If it stayed blue, it meant that about 2 hours ago, my body had a low blood sugar. If it went to orange, it meant that I had a high blood sugar.
I've had so many complications in my life, and every time there's been a JDRF-funded project to benefit people with that complication, whether it's neuropathy or gastroparesis, which is the nerves having trouble processing food in the stomach, or retinopathy in the eyes.
Well, the technological advance is funded by research, and the JDRF in particular has brought in academic researchers, they've helped channel government funding, they've worked with companies to bring it all together for a full picture. Preventing diabetes, living with it, preventing complications. Bringing it all together, that's the key, because not one entity alone can do it, but it's a collaboration.
I want a cure because then I can go and have sleepovers whenever I want and not have to worry about getting sick from diabetes.
I want a cure for diabetes because I just don't like giving shots and I want to be normal with my friends.
I want a cure for diabetes because I think that kids everywhere would be really thankful for not having to deal with the everyday things that come with it, and for my little sister because I know that she'd be happier that way.
Research is so important and there's so much that can be done. My feeling is, and my family's feeling is, that there can be a cure in these kids' lifetime.
Perhaps my son and my 2 grandchildren will hopefully see quite a bit of improvement. In fact, it would be wonderful if we could come down with a cure.